So, hello, good morning. Hi, good morning, everyone. All right, hi, Victoria, good morning. And Amit, can you hear all right?
Yes, I'm all right.
Okay, great. Thanks for joining. All right. So maybe let's start with some updates, quick wins from the weekend. So maybe Amit, you'd like to share something?
Nothing as serious, but I played a cricket game and won there. This is all that I've done in this weekend. I
Oh,
played.
nice. Okay, you played a cricket game?
Yes,
Just
yes,
like,
yes.
oh, okay. So are you good at it?
Not good, but enough that I can play. Not good.
Okay. Nice. All right. So, all right. So thanks for sharing that. And how about Herman? Any wins this past weekend?
Trying to think now. I got some tasting code working, but I mean it was a restful weekend, so that was good. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So had a rest, right? Had a good rest. Okay, great. So how about victory? Any wins this weekend you'd like to share? Or learning? Wins or learning? Hello? Can you hear? Can I think you're not muted, but okay. Now you're muted.
Hi, what now?
Good. Now it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
hi. Sorry.
So yeah, and anything you'd like to share?
Yeah. So this weekend there was actually like this gathering, this sort of get together where um people were looking at old vintage computers like the Commodore series and stuff like that. It was quite amazing to see them working. Well, it's not in its original format. They basically started booting up old games from Raspberry Pis, and it was quite cool to see. Basically where it all started from. So it's very nice to see that and see enthusiasts. For me, I only know computers from 2000s upwards, but I saw computers from the 80s and the 70s. And it's like, wow, it's really cool. And yeah, I was able to get some rest as well. Just now.
Nice. I don't know when did Herman get in touch with computer. I started my journey, I think, with IBM XT computers and Apple II. I did a little bit of Apple II.
Wow.
ZX Spectrum 48K.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
With the cassette types. Yeah.
With the
Cassette.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were in the cassette period. All right. I was the end of the cassette and the beginning of the diskette, the 5 1/4 diskette.
The floppy diskettes, yeah.
Yes, the
Yeah.
floppies. That tells you our age, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
It
great.
is.
All right. So DWT, how about you? Any wins this
Sir,
weekend?
the last weekend for me was like completely packed. Like we had exams, we are having viva, so like nothing new. Like I am just going through my academic and balancing this internship as well. So
Okay. All right. So it was pretty packed with exams and
yes,
also work.
yes,
All right.
nothing new this week. Just
Well, I'm sure you learned a lot.
yes, like
schedule is
learning
packed.
a lot from academic point of view, like not from coding or stuff.
Oh, I see. Okay, nice. All right. So yeah, so I think I can also share a bit. Oh yeah, sorry. So victory. Um, okay. So I think for did victory share?
Sorry. Yes, I did share. I did share.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was going to. Okay. So I was thinking that well, just yesterday, I went to a tea farmer actually in the mountain, and basically basically they were doing organic tea. We were just visiting, and the soil I don't know if you've ever been to an organic farmland, but they had these traditional, using pesticides for the teas, and the soil was like stiff and hard. But on the organic side, it was like just really, really soft. Like almost like your feet. It's kind of like a jelly that you can step onto and just sink into it. So
Nice.
the soil was really, really different. So
That's fertile
that,
soil.
yeah, that actually got me thinking, that yeah, maybe that's the kind of the difference why it doesn't, the life itself can kind of develop, I guess, more naturally that way. And yeah, and so I was wondering, what about like in software development? Are there also more like manufacturer software and organic software? And
That's a
like
that's a
mass
good
produced
question.
software, and I guess that's
Wow.
something to think about. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I
Wow.
guess that's just and I guess the more interesting or deeper question is what kind of soil will produce a kind of I guess the organic environment versus a more mass-produced kind of environment. Obviously, I
Wow.
mean, it will have different characteristics, right?
The soil was
Oh,
red or black? Which soil was there?
I mean, the soil for the organic tea was really, really soft. I mean, that was what kind of really impressed me. Like
Okay.
it was like, because the field on the other hand is using pesticides, and the soil was just really stiff and hard. Okay, so
Yes,
there
yes.
was a really stark contrast between the two types of soil. Okay. All right. So let's start. All right. So yeah, we all had a good weekend. So Victory, would you like to start? I guess with the sync. Okay, and maybe can have everyone update. All right. So thanks, Victory.
All right. I was thinking, so Amit, I was hoping we could maybe start with you. Because I think we were supposed to meet on Thursday to get
Thursday
some
my
updates
exams
on
were
the
in.
MQTT. No, that's fine. That's fine. Just to sort of catch up on the progress.
Oh, I have built this person-to-person chat. I will show you that.
All right, let me stop sharing.
So this is the interface. In this, currently I have built one person-to-person chat. I have not implemented Redux and the Firebase stuff. So that thing I have to implement now. Suppose I type anything in this case, if this will be this will be appended here as well as in this part also.
Okay.
So this thing, yes.
Sorry, go on.
So this thing is completed, this person-to-person chat. Now I have to just implement 2 or 3 things. First of all, the main thing which I have to implement is to identify that the chat which is coming is my chat, or the chat which is coming is another person who wants to talk to me, whose chat it is. So I want to just first distinguish these chats. So now I'm thinking that how can I do that? So currently, I will, first of all, I'll do this distinguishing part, and then after, at the end, I'll implement the Firebase stuff.
Nice, nice.
I see you had some MQTT code there. What is the topic that you're using for? Are you using the person's name as the topic that you subscribe or publish to?
Currently, I'm using.
Okay, cool.
Currently using. I have hard coded it. Currently here I have hard coded it, but
Nice.
after implementing this Firebase, what I'll do, whenever a person will be login, the person will be assigned a unique identifier.
Okay.
So according to that identifier, I will create all these rooms or subscribe to that rooms.
Okay, so in other words, the unique identifier for each user will be the topic. And
Yes,
then
yes.
basically you will have to query. I mean, so if you want to search for people that you want to subscribe to, you would basically get that info from the database or,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
And I guess, and your problem now is that the first time that someone sends you a message, the person, let me think about this quickly. So you're getting a message from some random person. I'm assuming you're always subscribed to your own unique username, so you'll get messages sent to your username. So then it's just a way of authenticating that you want to receive messages from this person. Is that what you're talking about?
No, basically, if I want to talk to some person, I must subscribe to that person's unique ID. And similarly, that person, if that person wants to talk to me, then the person will subscribe to my topic, my unique ID. So
Okay.
this will be in a request form. Suppose if I want to talk to someone, I will send a request to that person. So if the person accepts the request, then what I'll do, I'll take both the unique IDs of both the users and exchange them. I'll give my unique ID.
Okay.
So this thing I'll do.
Okay, I think I'm with you now.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
And have you pushed this code to the repository?
Or for sure, I'll push it.
Okay, cool.
Please just share a link when you're done.
Yeah, I think I
Okay.
shared the link Friday as well. So there
Oh,
should be a
yes.
link. So it's that link basically that you can just push it to. Because I think the advantage is then that once you've got that up and running, then we can basically integrate it with a spatial publish subscribe library. And then basically we've done what we wanted to do for this first release.
Nice. Okay, great.
Nice.
So
That's
so
all right.
I mean, I guess is Amit, do you know what to do, or there's something that right now you might need help or stuck on in terms of
No, I'll do it. It's not that much of work. I'll do that.
okay, all right.
Thanks. Thanks, Amit. So for me and Didi, so in the last weekend, one thing we did integrate, we were trying to basically build simulation for one match and basically multiple nodes. And data log, especially data logging. And we did successfully create, some like found the CSV library. It's pretty decent. We might have to find a way to switch it on and off when we actually deploy to test to basically make the system faster. But
Okay.
the millisecond is about 22 milliseconds or so, or just under 22 milliseconds in terms of how much resources it takes in the system when they did their tests. So we did that, but now our major challenge right now is we don't know if this code is still working as it used to. We did fetch we tried to update the VAS library from Charles' iteration. And I don't know, we're either running it wrong or we're doing something, I don't know. But in the past, there was a console logger in this. So for example, when you run
So
maybe
Victory, the problem is
Yeah.
easy. The solution is easy. I think I was sorting out the visualizer. So you just need to start the visualizer first. Or what you need to do in the matcher is you need to say require global server, make that false. So that will solve your problem.
Okay.
Let's
Basically in
see,
the
there should
match.
be the matcher, not start matcher in matcher.js.
Okay. Matcher.js.
You'll just search for require GS or
Required.
capital require and then capital letter GS.
GS.
Yes, just make that
Oh,
false.
global server.
Just make that false here, and then the thing will start up correctly.
Sir, you push
Ah,
these changes also, okay, so that it will be
yeah, well,
in my PC also it starts working. Otherwise, I also would not check.
all right.
So I mean, the
So
other solution
suspend
was just to start the global server, and then because what happens is
this
it
one.
tries to communicate with the global server, and if it can't communicate with the global server, it just waits there. I think that's what's happening.
Oh, okay. We can leave it on then. Madam will probably leave it on. But basically, that was the major challenge. But I think that's wow. That's thank God. Basically, we got stuck at this yesterday afternoon or evening, and then we were like, okay, in the morning we just follow up with the team. But basically, what we've done is we've been able to do it such that you can sort of log in the request. There's a type, and basically there's the X, there's the Y, there's the R, and there's a type. And the goal was to, when we log the file, and which we're gonna log the timestamp. I think it's in microseconds or something like that. So for every request that was being made by the request, we're gonna log it. We're also gonna do the same thing with the matcher. When the request is made, we want when the matcher receives any type of request, it should log it with the CSV library. And the same thing with the gateway. And so the idea is we want to track every request on every file and then do like a post-processing after of the CSV. However, I think at the moment now, what Debo is looking at is to try to make at the moment, this is sort of hard coded, where we sort of had to create it like into this test client. The idea is to try to fit this into there's the logger utility, I think here, logger.js. And the idea is to try to create this function where you can simply just call it and pass in parameters using the standard format, where there will always be a timestamp, there will always be a request, there will be maybe there should be an ID as well here in terms of where it's coming from and where it's going to. But we are working on this sort of in an iterative format. I'm going to continue this again today and see what I can do at least to get started with this. And then the next step will now be I've not generated this node yet. I'm going to try to create like a script or something to generate this in like 4 quadrants. I don't know if you remember that file where you have quadrant A, B, C, D, and then in each quadrant there's 25 nodes, and B is subscribing to C, and C is subscribing to D, and basically all of that has been written on paper. And then the idea is we simply just start running the tests and start, do like test for 10, then do test for 100. And then the next step after that, and I'll be looking into it as well, is to have Dockerized containers. And it looks pretty straightforward. The idea is, if I remember correctly, I think Shao had, multiple nodes or multiple threads running on a single Raspberry Pi. I don't know if that's the case, but what I'm trying to accomplish is I want one node to be on one container, right? One node, one container, and then create all these containers, maybe add 2 or 3 Raspberry Pis in there, and then see what happens as to how the messages are being forwarded or when the messages have been forwarded. And I think Docker is going to help significantly with that. I've started reading up on that, and I think it looks straightforward until you try to implement it. With regards to our leader, we tried to meet on Thursday, but there was so much technical difficulty. Her keyboard broke. My headphones, basically the earphones don't work anymore. I don't really know what happened. But we did communicate via chat, and basically she said she didn't really have much updates with regards to how much development work she's been doing. But we're supposed to meet again, so I'll maybe send her a chat and see if she's available today. Shal did publish a message this morning on the VAST group. I don't know if you've seen that on the VAST channel, saying he had started playing around with some of the code for the MQTT, I think, implementation with the chat. And he said he's going to publish that on GitHub by the end of today. And yeah, I think that's more or less the updates. I don't know if there's any feedback, comments, questions.
I saw Shawl mention something in the chat about having figured out the topic to coordinate transformation. So
Oh,
I think-
nice.
yeah, I haven't read the
Yes.
complete message yet, but he has sorted something out. So I'll read that more clearly and figure out what's going on. And then yeah, and so if Amit pushes what he has to that repository, then we can ask Shawl to try and integrate there. And then I think we might even by tomorrow, or even, you know, if we're lucky today, have a system which can basically show the spatial chat basic functionality, which I think would be quite nice if we could do that.
Really cool.
I have pushed my code on GitHub.
Say again.
I have pushed my code on GitHub. It is okay.
Yay!
Oh,
Thank you.
Sweet, sweet, nice. Thanks, Amit,
No.
so much.
2 branches. Oh, yay! 3 minutes ago. Excellent.
Nice. I'm tempted to look at it, but because I'm sharing screen. Anyways, yeah, I think that's more or less it with regards to the testing. I'm not sure. I think we are still on track for the end of this month's deadline, which is to
Okay.
I'm trying to remember now what was the simulation environment. Yeah, we're almost there, I think, and then to sort of have the tests running. Tests are running ish, they're just not perfect yet. So
Okay.
I think that's progress. And yeah, thesis design, actually I have a plan to do that later today, even if it's the design structure. What if sorry?
Just Amit, could you perhaps just write a short in the README, just add some short description about how you act, you know, basically just how you can get the system up and running if someone wants to. Cool, thanks. You can put that up as a task for
As a task.
Amit,
Oh, okay.
please, Victory.
All
Just a
right.
short description
Yeah,
about how to
README.
get it up and running. Yeah.
All right, great. So as Victory's maybe can laid out for today's work, I guess the question I like to ask is, so between now and a working prototype, what are the main things that's left to be done?
I would
Oof.
say running, basically running Amit's code and then integrating what Shawl has done in terms of the topic to coordinate transformation and testing that that's working. And then basically, you know, using the spatial MQTT instead of a normal MQTT, and basically checking that that works. I think that's basically the things that need to be done.
Okay, okay. But just to clarify, I think so Amit's code right now, does it work? I mean, work with the MQTT so far with the MQTT server already?
Amit?
It is up and running, but it is not currently, it is hard coded. So the users with a specific name is only connecting. So I have to just expand it and make it available for according to users login details. So
Okay, I see. So basically make it to change the static, the hard-coded part, right?
yes,
But
yes,
I guess otherwise you are talking to a MQTT server
yes,
for the chat message already, right?
yes.
Okay, okay. So that's good. That's good. So all right. So I guess that your part still has to change. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to verify, right? Because even if we change the MQTT server to a spatial, topic to coordinates translation, we still need to be able to change the username, right? In order to talk to different people.
That's true. Yeah.
As a
But-
verification,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yeah. But what I think what's there, I think if we assume that it's hard coded, we can still check that. I mean, we can still check that the
If the mapping
spatial.
works, right?
Yes, precisely. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I guess what I'm trying to suggest is that can still be done.
Yeah.
Okay, even if independent of amidst current development.
Yeah.
And so basically yeah, I'd say go for it just to the shortest path to get the first prototype ready.
Yeah.
Um
Agreed.
okay, all right. And in terms of the MQTT replacement, that is that's already done by Herman, right?
Yes,
Except for the topic name translation, right?
that's right.
Okay, okay. All right, that seems good. But that is that expected to be done by Charles?
He did some work on it. I think he said on Friday or on Thursday that he wants to have a look at it, which I think he did. And then let me just see. He's got a working topic to a coordinate transformation. Something about an integer hash.
Mhm.
And create a
Okay.
very basic MQTT client for the project performance test.
Okay. And I guess one more question is, right now we can convert from a channel name, like for example, a user's name, to a coordinate. But
Yes.
at the receiving end, is that something that can be reversed?
So I thought about this when I spoke to Charles the other day. So okay. So basically, what the receiving side needs is it basically needs to know that this coordinate is associated with that topic name. So if you are the person subscribing to that area, then you must have already done, the SPAT app must already done that transformation, so you can basically store that information. And I
Okay.
guess what you could also do is when you basically get that list of users with their unique IDs, you can also just store the coordinate transformation so that you can basically get that information from there. And then, so it basically means that if a user is on the system's database, there should be a reverse mapping stored there. But I think
From the
at moment
database. From the
yes,
database.
from the database, yeah.
Okay.
But at the
okay.
moment, we don't have an algorithm which can basically reverse the
All right.
coordinate
Okay.
transformation.
That's
to a-
fine. That's
Okay.
fine for now,
Ah.
I think.
Cool.
Okay. Good.
So,
All right. So
Just to
yeah.
con-
So Victory, go ahead. Yeah.
so just to confirm then, the hash coding part, is that what Charles said he's done?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay, cool. But for both coding and decoding are just coding for now. Or is it, what's the word, encoding rather?
So
I
I
mean-
think he's got something which takes the topic and just translates it to an X and Y coordinate.
Okay, nice. But not,
Doubt according
sorry.
to- I have one doubt that if I post something on my branch, I will raise a PR. So I have to merge that PR or somebody else will merge that PR after upload.
So what's a PI?
A pull request, basically.
Yeah,
A PR pull request.
yeah. pull
Is
request,
this
yeah.
on the SPAT app? Oh,
GitHub.
but is it I'm not sure who spoke now. Is it Amit that spoke
It's
or is it
Amit, yeah.
Amit? So I
Yeah.
think you've got I think you have, I mean, you just push something there, so you can basically, if you are on the SPAT app, I think you've got the rights to do, to basically do that. If it doesn't work, just let me know and I'll look at the pull request.
Okay, okay.
Cool.
I guess he
Yeah.
have to he also needs to be a contributor to do that.
No, I am. I'll do that.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
So Victory, maybe you can confirm the task today.
Yes. So for me and Didi, I just confirmed now and that this is working. So we're gonna get started with our tests. Oh wow, that's a
Oh,
lot.
nice, nice, good.
Gonna get started with the tests today. Didi, I think, has exams tomorrow, so we'll meet today, but we'll meet tomorrow. But I will get started anyways, and then I'll just give you an update tomorrow.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Alida, I'm gonna send her a text maybe later today and see to be sure that she's not struggling or needs help. I think she's fine. I know she was able to get the code running successfully, but I don't know if she's been able to play around with the movements and stuff like that. With Amit, so the README I think is the most important. I think you discussed at the moment you said there's already the point-to-point chat. I mean, we did see the point-to-point. So now I think it's group chat. I don't know if that's something you said, but I'm guessing that's the next step. And also,
Well, the next should be the flexible names, because right now it's
Yes.
hard coded, right?
Oh,
The next
yes,
step
yes.
should be the flexible names. Yeah,
Okay. So how do I put this dynamic channel names?
you can leave that as a blue item. I mean, we might need that
Okay.
later. The group chat.
Okay.
Yeah, but yes, definitely dynamic channel name. That is the current priority.
Okay. All right. And I remember there's still the integrating the social login sign up. I should just put Firebase here. And also integrating the chat screen with the sign in and sign up page. Last time we spoke, you did say that the pages were different. The login page was different from the chat page, and the idea there is to sort of merge them together. And then the spatial element, I think this is where the hash coding comes in, where
Yes.
it allows you to dynamically change the channel name to coordinates. And then Charles is to push the code to GitHub today. Hash coding sounds like that's done. Maybe I should just say test. Hash coding. Make that blue.
So okay, good. So one question is who's going to run the MQTT server that's been modified? Who else will, I guess, produce a modified MQTT server for the check client to connect to?
I can do that.
That's a good question. Oh,
Oh.
thanks for sharing.
Okay, all right, because we do need that, right? To basically and to allow to verify, right?
Yes.
Essentially whether that will work with the chat client.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone has like some decent link. Well, I know there's like a lot on the internet, but something like comprehensive for understanding like MQTT servers, especially in an IoT context. Thing is, I see quite a lot online, but it's a bit, I'm not able to grasp it properly yet. But if anyone has any good books or something, please share.
I guess Herman will be the best to recommend, right?
Yeah. I'll send you
Any
something.
good resource.
All right, thank you, sir. MQTT server. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay, so feedback, yeah, that should be like running a modified MQTT server, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Herman, any feedback on your side?
Yeah, that sounds good. Cool.
Okay,
Yeah, I
nice.
think by Wednesday we might even have a release.
Yes.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
Okay.
yeah, that's
So
amazing.
look forward to I mean, Amit, you know, your client is really important now. Okay. And it's going to see how that works. And the WOG, and yes, I think the simulation, please do,
Yes, sir.
you know, work with Victory. All right.
Yes.
Cool.
All right. Okay. And
Cool.
all right. So we'll see tomorrow then. All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
So yeah, thanks everyone.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
And
everyone.
we'll, yeah, all right. Yeah, talk later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.